Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Sick Podcast Talking Titans. Man, I'll tell you, these two weeks have felt a lot longer than 2 weeks. I don't know about you guys, especially for a team that's 1-3. But either way, Titans football is back, thankfully. Hopefully, it'll be thankfully for a while more. But let's not waste any time. Sammy, start us up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Levis towards the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown. Wow. And it's the fourth TD pass of the day in the debut of Will Levis.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast. Sick! It's gonna be sick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Sick Podcast Talking Titans. Joined as always by my two counterparts, Jarett and Vinny, who held it down nicely for me last week. Apologize for missing out on the show last week, but I'm back and all three of us are together again. How are we doing today, fellas?
Could be better, could be worse, but as is life, right?
Yep. Jay, hanging in
Hey,
there.
man. Hanging in there, waiting for Sunday. Optimistic about Sunday's football, so we'll see what happens.
Yes. We're going to get into all of that, but first, let's do a special shout out to our DraftKings sponsors. Vin, take it away.
Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the Sportsbook app and use code 6SPORTS. That's code 6SPORTS for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
All right.
And guys, if you guys want to bet on the game, the line has changed drastically. The Titans are now -3 at -102. Over/under is still at 43, and Titans money line is -142. So a lot of action going on with that game. Yeah, a lot of action.
Considering Will Levis never had the makings of a varsity athlete, I don't know if the Titans should be giving 3 points to Cherry Hill East. Shout out my high school. Well, I don't know if they should be giving points to anybody. Vegas is telling us something here, boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what Vegas is telling us, honestly, though.
The Titans win the game.
No, it's telling us we have a top 5 defense in the league. That's what it's telling us. Even with
we have a number 1 defense in the league.
We can't throw away the Packer game. I'm sorry.
I'm saying it's rated number 1. So
it has to be rated number 1 all at once. But against Green Bay, against the quarterback we had in house on the bench for 2 years, it was an absolute joke. So we can't throw that away. That was a major reason why we're currently in the situation we are, is how poorly they played during that football game. We're not going to put all the blame on them. But, I think that's it. What Vegas is telling us, this defense is to be reckoned with. And even with a quarterback who it's going to be a flip of a coin every time he drops back, whether he's going to throw an interception or not, they still believe that this Titan defense at home against either – is that – I don't know. We got to figure out is that now?
Anthony Richardson's probable as of an
hour.
hour.
Okay. Michael Pittman and John are out. Both out. So – more than maybe Vegas believes in our defense, they probably believe that without those two players, their offense is going to find it hard to get points on the board. But that being said, never underestimate the Titans' ability to F up a game.
No, of course not. But I'll say this though: I'm happy.
Just got it in from Sammy. Pittman said he's going to try to play, not out yet. Jonathan Taylor's out. Pittman, it seems doubtful, maybe questionable.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But I'm happy it's Richardson. You know what? Because number one, I'm tired of people putting them in the same, just constantly talking about them. And although Richardson hasn't been a turnover machine, the games he has played, if this kid's going to get out of the funk, if this kid's going to maybe prove to this fan base, I might still be the option long term. I'm happy it'll be against Anthony Richardson. So, or Richardson's going to spank him and outperform him and make us look even more like pieces of shit. So I think it's going to be good either way, just more trial by fire. If Flacco goes out there and he throws 75%, 270 and dices up the defense, all right, Levis is still going to get a little pushback, but if Richardson outperforms him and another week goes by when we're not seeing any kind of turnaround out of this kid, it's going to shorten that leash. And like I said, we either got to sink or swim with him. And if we're going to sink, this is going to help us sink. That's for sure. So I'm pretty happy that Richardson's playing, and I'm pretty happy Levis is playing as well. I'm sure you two are also. Jarett?
I touched on it with Vinny on Tuesday. I said you got to let Levis sink or swim. I said I'm not going to say another word about him negative. If he throws for 4 touchdowns or 5 interceptions in one game, I'm not going to say another word. Let it ride out into the rest of the year because we need to see if this is going to be the quarterback for the future. Okay? Fan base is split on it, obviously. I'm just going to have him either prove me right or prove me wrong. So with that said, Sal, me and Vinny talked about keys to victory on Tuesday. Vinny was very adamant, very differ from what my opinion was. He said, run the ball 30 times. I said, no. I want to see, roll the pocket. I want to see the deep shots, kind of like the Atlanta Falcons game, how we came off the bye last year against the Falcons, where he threw 4 touchdown passes right away. I think you have to see what he could do throwing the ball, like I said. So what do you think your keys to victory is?
Yeah, being timid is not going to work anymore. It's not. This is not his 3rd game, 4th game. We're approaching a full season's worth of starts for Levis now. He's put himself in this situation. Nobody else did. And if he's going to get himself out, he's got to get himself out. We can't treat this kid like we treated Mariota every fucking game. We got to do everything we can to make sure he succeeds and doesn't turn the ball over and not let him be the player that he is. Now, the player that he is, unfortunately, has lost us some games. But the player he can be, it's only letting him be him. There's no way around it. And he's going to either figure it out or not figure it out. So don't running the ball 30 times and us winning a game 14-10. Great. We're 2-3. The season's not over. But I can't say this enough, and we all agreed it 2 weeks ago. That win in Miami was about as little, it gave us as little promise as any victory could, especially with a backup in. But when we don't turn the ball over, we win the game. So my biggest key is just not turning the ball over. Brian Callahan had half of a month to prepare, to scheme this team to get Levis in positions to throw the ball safely and to throw the ball efficiently and to maybe take a shot down the field here and there. No one's going to yell at the kid if he tries to take a bomb to Ridley and there's hand fighting. And, it was a similar interception to the Burks one we watched live, even though that ball was a little underthrown. But if he's throwing balls directly to the fucking linebackers and they catch the ball in between the freaking legs, that ain't going to work. And let's hope Brian Callahan's able to figure something out to get him comfortable, because we know when Levis is comfortable, that's where everything shows up, where we get excited about. And that's just going to be the case. And hopefully Callahan is able to do it, because I don't have any faith in him right now. And I don't know who should have any faith in him.
I understand. Sorry, Jarett. But first, how are you guys? Adamant and timid. 2 $5 words right there.
Yeah.
You like that, right?
Who would have thunk a couple of Jersey kids throwing out these big words?
I can't spell weather, but I can say the word adamant. That's the thing. I don't know which one is weather and which one's weather, but adamant I can say.
There, and there.
Yes, yeah. I do. I'm being sarcastic.
That's good. That's good.
I only found out like 8 years ago, but I know now.
It's all right. Better late than never. And Sal, I understand what you're saying. And Jarett, you guys seem to agree on the fact that you got to let Levis go out there and see what he could do. But I'm to the point where maybe it's almost just as important for him to get a win as a starter as it is for him to ball out. Okay. And maybe the formula for us to win right now is all I'm saying is what we did two Mondays ago. And that is run the ball efficiently and not turn the ball over, because we saw what we could do when we don't turn the ball over. And I understand, and I said it this show, that we're playing an undermanned Dolphins team, but guess what? They still got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Huntley, who's had shown some flashes in Baltimore. And a win is a win in the NFL, okay? And it might have been underwhelming, but we saw what we could do regardless of who we were playing when we don't turn the ball over, okay? So I'm of the belief that, yes, we have to see what Levis has, but I'm also to the point where I'm now scared, and I know, Sal, you said we can't be timid, but what confidence do you have in Will Levis to go out there and not make a mistake? And to my point, the best thing for his confidence, I think right now, more than filling up a stat sheet, is a win.
And he said that.
And if the formula for us winning is running the ball 30 times and throwing it 17 times, so be it, because he'll go into that locker room saying, listen, I won a game as a starter, and then maybe we open up the playbook for him little by little as the season goes on, because maybe Callahan tried to open up the playbook for him too early in his tenure in Tennessee and asked Will Levis to do too much. And maybe that's why we've seen him fail a little bit or a lot of bit this year. So I'm saying maybe we take a step back, realize what we're good at. We have 2 running backs that are very talented. We have a defense that, whether it's top 3 or number 1, we can all agree it's top 5 in the league, hands down. And we're getting Jeffrey Simmons back this week. So maybe the best thing for Will Levis right now is to get a win as a starter. And maybe the best way for us to win is to run the ball, play good defense, and have pre-designed plays when he's going to throw the ball. Bubble screens, regular screens, 5 and ins, 5 and outs, get rid of the ball quick. And maybe open up the playbook little by little as the season goes on to ease his progression in this new offense. Because, yes, it is his second year, but it is an entirely new offense. So maybe we need to crawl before we walk and walk before we run, okay? And I'm just saying, call me crazy. I understand everyone's point where you got to let him sink or swim. But if we want him to swim, I think we need to slow it down a little bit for him, if that's fair to say.
It is fair to say. And Will Levis touched on it on his press conference that, he didn't feel a part of the win, basically, is what he was saying, what I got out of it, because he was on a bench and he wants to get that win. And I think they're preparing him for Sunday at home against a division game. Remember, it's Brian Callahan's first division home game, too, as well. So they're going to come out and they're going to try to smack the Colts with preparation. The Colts have let up the 4th most pass yards to a wide receiver. 4th most yards to a wide receiver this year on defense. So that Brian Callahan's going to throw the ball, whether it be play action, Ridley, down the middle of the field. It's the ball's going to be in the air this week. So they may split it a little bit, but I would like to see Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears on bubble screens or Texas routes out of the backfield per se. Get the guys in space with the ball, because that's how you're going to succeed. And we talked about this throughout the whole offseason. So I would like to see that with Will Levis going forward.
Here's the flip side of that, though. One thing I want to add. Like, obviously, you're right. Having him get a win, very important. Having him be comfortable, very important. Okay, that's fair. But here's what I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want to pass up an opportunity like this game to get him acclimated to the right form of offense we're trying to run, because boys, after this, we're going to Buffalo, then we're going to Detroit. All right, we'll take a pit stop home for New England, which isn't going to be a runaway no matter what, because we can't beat anyone easily. Then we're going to the Chargers. Then we're home to the Vikings. There's no more room for baby steps. He needs to be Will Levis from last year starting Sunday. If he's ready and he shows he's ready, then we can feel him throwing the ball 17 times, completing 14 for 130 yards and a touchdown. I'm still thinking we're getting shellacked against Buffalo in 2 weeks.
Not if we play good defense, man.
Oh, yeah. Sal,
Vulnerable
it looks very vulnerable.
Vulnerable the last 2 weeks. Yeah. They don't have the same offense they did. Josh Allen is being asked to do.
But we're talking about the Titans.
Yeah, but
if this was any other team, I'd say, if this was the Steelers, I'd say, you know what? Okay. Listen, but this is our team, guys. This team, if very rarely, goes above our expectations. Okay, yes, once in a while you throw in a game like the Dolphin game last year on prime time. Beating the daylights out of the Bills during the pandemic year. Okay, but usually we don't live up to our expectations as far as these other teams. So yeah, they're beatable. But we're not beating Josh Allen. Will Levis throwing the ball 15 times.
What if we sign Nick Williams?
Yeah.
Who remembers that play?
We can, because he was fucking 50 feet in front of me. That's why I remember that play, okay? I drove 9 hours to watch zero touch. I was at that game.
Oh,
Nick,
wow.
Cool. I was at that game. I sat 15 rows behind the Titans bench, and didn't watch a single touchdown, and tried to party in Buffalo afterwards. Everybody else was having fun, but I digress. He needs to play lights out. They should have done it with him on Monday night. Open it up. Let him get comfortable now, because he's not going to be no matter what Buffalo's doing. We're going to their house. Top 5 toughest place to play in the league. He needs to be ready for that. That can't be when we start to open it up. We got to open it up this week. Let him have the confidence to maybe go into Buffalo and do what he did in Miami last year. That's it. This schedule, every team's beatable this year. This year is no fucking logic, NFL. Anybody can win anytime. Yep. Commanders and Vikings are top 5 teams in the league. Who saw that with any of them as their quarterback? Nobody. This league, anyone can win. But if you have a quarterback that can't do shit, it doesn't matter how good our defense is. We know this. We just don't want to admit it. We need Levis to play well, and then everything comes together. And this team could win 8 out of 10. It's a big if, because there's nothing to show us that we can believe.
They had it before with the defense, so they just need to run on offense.
But it starts with Levis. Doesn't matter what Pollard, Spears, and the defense do. Yep. We could sneak by with them winning by a freaking nut hair. But after that, Levis needs to be big time, or we're going nowhere at all. And you guys know that. So that goes out saying, how about we jump into our picks? I think it's a good time to do so. Jarett, why don't you do the honors here?
Yeah, we got a graphic, Sammy. Or we're just gonna
it's time for Sick Picks. Brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours.
All right, so game pick wise, I got the Titans winning 23-16. I do, in fact, see the offense rolling, ahead of the bye week. Like I said, I see a similar, not really similar with the 4 touchdown passes, but I see him throwing for 2 touchdowns with no interceptions. I think the game plan will be right coming off the bye at home, and we're going to smack a beaten down Colts team to get to 2-3.
Vin?
Throw mine up there. I hate to say it.
Oh my God.
I hate to say it. And listen, maybe I'm just doing it to troll some people. Maybe I'm just doing it because I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
Reverse jinx.
And I picked them to lose against Miami and they won. So maybe it's the formula for victory. So we'll see, what happens.
Well, I'll say this. You're a fan of a team that has a lot of trouble scoring points when you got a fan saying, yeah, this week we're going to be rolling on offense, scoring 23 points.
I didn't say we're going to be.
No, Jarett did.
Me.
Jarett goes, yeah, this week I think that the offense is going to start rolling again.
Yardage wise and everything.
17 points rolling.
Yeah, I got him over 17.
You're not wrong.
I think
Jarett, you're not wrong.
I know.
I'm saying it's just sad. That's how it is here at Nashville football. We get excited to think about our team maybe scoring 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Actually, that technically doesn't equate. You're looking at how many? 2 touchdowns, Jarett, with that score?
2 touchdowns, a couple field goals.
Rolling, baby. I hope so. Me, I have just basically squeaking by with a victory. Tennessee 21, Indianapolis 20. Feel free to throw my graphic up there so you guys can see. If we're gonna win, it seems like it's gonna be from some kind of late minute or last minute heroics. Because the bottom line is, this is a freaking division game, and everyone and their mother can be out from both sides. These teams see each other so often that there's an advantage from both teams, being able to see what the other ones do so often. So it's going to be tight. I think you're going to see some flashes from Richardson that are going to make Colt fans believe he might be the guy still, because that's what we love to do. When people's careers are about to die, we let them show up in our building and say, hey, maybe that guy has it. That Johnny Manziel, he wasn't in Tennessee, but maybe he is going to be a perennial player in this league after that performance he put up against us. But we'll have to see. But let's show our picks of the week, our parlays for the week.
So
Jarett, take it away.
Try to win some money this week. I won on Thursday Night Football last night, so I'm going to try to do the same thing on Sunday with this. I have a Tony Pollard anytime touchdown, Ridley over 50. Like I said, the Colts are giving up the 4th most yards to wide receivers, and I think he is going to start rolling this week. Tony Pollard over 75 plus rushing receiving yards, so that'll get you right now at plus 400. So throw 100 on it, you win 500. Nice little parlay for Sunday.
There you go. Vin?
Throw them up there. I got the Cardinals plus 5 at home against Green Bay. Listen, I think the Cardinals are a team where if they can put it together a little bit, they could, maybe be a wild card team in the NFC. They went on the road last week and beat San Francisco. I think they're starting to click a little bit. Green Bay is a solid team, but 5 is a weird number, and I like them getting the points against the Packers. The Texans, given 7 on the road to the Patriots. Usually, Jarett knows this. I don't like betting against a home underdog, but the Patriots are starting a rookie quarterback this week. Their offensive line is abysmal, and I think the Texans, after squeaking out a victory last week and getting lucky, taking no chance on the road, I think they beat down, even without Nico Collins and maybe Joe Mixon, I think they beat down the Patriots by double digits. And then I'm going to roll with the New Orleans Saints getting 3.5 at home. Jarett, I love a home dog, and know who I love more than a home dog? Spencer Rattler. I preached about him last year.
He's playing?
Oh, yeah.
He is playing. Derek Carr is going to be out for a few weeks.
Holy shit.
Week injury. And they're not wrong with their backup who went in last week. I'm not sure who he was. But Spencer Rattler can throw the ball as good as anybody in the league. I've been following him for a while. I am a big fan of his. I think he's going to take this job and not look back. I think the Saints are a contender to win that game outright as well. But I'll take them with the 3.5. That is plus $569. So $100, you win $669. Well, you really win $569 minus the 100 you bet, but plus $569, $100 bet brings you home $569 in profit.
All right. I am going to go with the Washington Commanders plus 6.5. They are playing who this week? They're playing Baltimore. I mean, yeah, it's on the road, but you're really telling me one of the hottest teams in the league is not going to keep this game close? I'd like to give that a look. 6.5 for Washington. And then I also agree with Vin, Arizona getting 5 on the road against a shaky Green Bay team, especially their defense. I like that a lot. And then give me Arizona. The line's moved since I sent it out. It's now 6 points. So now it's -6 for Atlanta, but I'll still take them. Kirk Cousins is probably going to have a fucking field day against Carolina's defense. He's been on a roll. Plus 581. That'll work. So make sure, if you're interested, take advantage of what we think. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong, but we love to give you guys the advice. Sprinkle it up, little here, little there. But, I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. This is going to be a make or break week again. Once again, season is obviously on the line. Even without any divisional games yet, you go 1-4, and you're basically pissing in the wind with a lot of football to go. And as a fan base, that's not going to be very fun. But we'll have to see how things turn out. We have everyone healthy, it appears, for the most part. And we're giving our starting quarterback another shot to prove us right. Or really, most of us wrong, to be honest. But that'll do it, guys. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell. Make sure every time we go up with any videos or lives, you're notified. The more support we get from you guys, the better off we'll all be. The more content we're going to be able to provide, and the more we're going to grow. So, as always, guys, I hope everyone has a phenomenal rest of their week. Boys, anything you want to add before we close out? Or are we rocking into this Sunday?
No, I think we said what we needed to say, and we'll see who was right and who was wrong come Sunday and what the Titans decide to do with young William Donovan Levis.
Yep. Yep. Big week, huge week. And
congratulations to you, Sal, by the way. Your team did what my team couldn't. The Yankees advanced in the ALCS. I am now rooting for them. Give props when they are due. And
I will not be rooting for them, nor the Mets. So go Padres and go whoever the hell they're playing. The
Detroit. Everything you like sucks, Jarett.
Yeah. I hate New York sports. So what can I say? So.
I don't blame you. I only have one New York sports team in my.
Yeah, you want to tell your story real quick for our listeners? A quick fun story. Come on.
Yeah, no, I don't mind telling. It was a horrible night all the way around, but it started off with that. Yeah, the Jazz Chisholm home run, his first postseason home run last Monday.
Tuesday,
yeah, I dropped it. It was in my hands. I dropped it. It stung my hands
live
for about
on TV.
An hour. Live on TV. I'll have the clip for a long time. I'm actually surprised. It sounds like something AC and Sammy would have had cooked up, like having the replay ready when I brought up the story, but I'm thankful they don't.
Well, hopefully the Titans don't do what you did and that's drop the ball.
Yes. Hopefully our running, hopefully we get some balls to our receivers to catch and not to the other team's linebackers' fucking crotch. That's the hope. So let's pray for that, guys, and hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their weekend. And let's hope we could do our first live post game after a victory. Don't forget, we did not go live on Monday night, so we have been just wanting that for a long time. Let's hope we get it, and that's going to do it, guys. Hope everyone has a phenomenal weekend. We'll see you on the flip, and as always, tighten up. Sammy, send us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.